Are we doing Eating with Zero? Nah, I don't think so. Gersonzero here, and welcome to my newest series, Zero Members Gamescast. Yeah, I really tried my best to start a podcast, but with my schedule at work, leaving at 7 a.m. and coming back around 7 p.m., it's nearly impossible to coordinate with other YouTubers. So you know what? Next best thing would be to start my own podcast, just myself. I don't have a lot of snacks to eat here, but I am going to snack on this. This is a Boston cream cake. It doesn't taste anything like Boston cream. I don't know why, but I've actually been in this Boston cream mood because of Dunkin' Donuts. There's a Dunkin' Donuts next to my job. I always get like this black coffee, no sugar, nothing. I tell them, yeah, can I get a ice black coffee, no sugar? And they go, 4 sugars? And I go, no sugars? And they go, large? I go, medium. Large? And I'm like, yeah, these guys are trying to upsell me. Do they charge for sugar in Dunkin' Donuts? What the heck? So, I don't have anyone that works for me that plays video games. So, I can't really talk about video game topics that is on my mind. I really have a lot to say. I got a couple of topics that I want to hit. We're going to jump right into the first one. God of War 4. Let's call it God of War 4 because there ain't no reboot or remake. On the PlayStation 4. Now, I did buy this game as of this recording yesterday. I bought it digitally. You know, my son is 3 years old, and I buy him these Paw Patrol toys that comes with these things called the Mission Paw. It's basically like this ID card for each character. Chase or Marshall, you know, or Rocky or Zuma. I don't know why I'm naming these dogs, man. You guys probably never even heard of that show. So anyway, it kind of looks like an ID card. It's pretty thick. Looks just like your ID card. And he puts it in the PlayStation, bro. I have Persona 5 in the PlayStation right now. There was a time where Persona 5 had 2 of those Mission Paw ID cards layered on top of it, and below it, I actually had to take a screwdriver and to like eject the disc, and it was very difficult to take that disc out in those Mission Paws, but I did it though. All right, so I buy physical and digital. I buy like a mix, right? I kind of go half and half. There's certain games, if it's an RPG, which I don't play many, but when I do play RPG, I go physical, like Persona 5, Final Fantasy 12, Zodiac Age, Yakuza, right? You know, stuff like that. I go physical. Let's get into the game, shall we? What is God of War? God of War is a hack and slash series. It dates all the way back to PlayStation 1. Oh, so PlayStation 2. I remember when God of War, the first one, came out. Euphoria lent me the game because I actually bought Tekken 5 and Devil May Cry 3 over God of War. I felt that those purchases were more justified over God of War. Excuse me if you're seeing zoom in and out. This camera's bugging out. And you know, I played God of War. It was pretty good. I liked it. But then God of War 2 came out, and I had a 360 when it came out. I had a 360, my boy. Okay? I remember playing God of War 2 and then going, man, this is a good game. I can't wait to play. I gotta go to work tomorrow, though. Let me turn it off. I'll start tomorrow. I'll continue tomorrow. What year that game come out? I think God of War 2 came out in 2006, 2007. 10, 11 years later, I still didn't go back to it, okay? I beat 1. I got about maybe 30% into the second game. Then God of War 3 came out for the PlayStation 3. I had to go on YouTube. I saw a recap video. And I said, damn! I missed out, bro! So then, I beat God of War 3. And I had this love-hate relationship with God of War 3. I love the graphics, I love the gore, I love that Kevin Sorbo's voice was in it, and I was able to pummel his fucking face to the ground I love that about the game. But the story, especially towards the end, was unacceptable. Kratos started to become this pussy towards the end. And I get that maybe he was, you know, reflecting on his time with his daughter. But my God, that voice acting was pretty bad. I was like, damn, who the hell voiced this? Apparently it's a guy from Living Single. Alright? I never saw Living Single. I wasn't watching that show, unfortunately. You know, I was too busy watching shows like Full House, Family Matters. And then the last battles in God of War, like the Zeus fights, it turned into like Street Fighter 4, but the shitty version of it turned into Street Fighter 5. A 2.5D fighting game with horrible mechanics. And then you fight him again like later on in this first-person view. That was pretty bad. Anyone who defends that first-person view battle, I don't know, man. You gotta convince me, because I thought it was bad. You got into this whole inner struggle battle. It was, I don't know, man. Like, when I beat God of War 3, I was just like, that's it? That was the ending? And you know, maybe I'm missing something, right? Because again, I didn't beat God of War 2. But I always felt that Kratos' actions in the first game were justified. After 2, I felt like he was just being an asshole. Straight up. He was being a dickhead, alright? We have this new one. I'm gonna not talk about Ascension, because Ascension, although the graphics were pretty and the combat is the best up until that point of release, man, those Medusas were annoying. Oh my goodness. Anyone remember the Medusa battles in Ascension where you're just constantly stabbing their tail and dodging their eye beams? I was like, damn, man, what happened here? So now we have the sequel to God of War 3, the follow-up. Just because it's called God of War doesn't mean it's a remake or a remaster or a reboot. Okay? This is essentially God of War 4. What is God of War 4 about? Well, the game starts off with you hunting deer with your son. His name is Atreus. It's a test to see if he's physically, emotionally capable of going on this journey that Kratos has been mentioning to his little boy. You know, his son wants to go on this journey with him, but Kratos doesn't think that he's ready. Unfortunately, these events occur that force Kratos to go on the journey and take Atreus, even though he's not emotionally and physically ready. Let me talk about the graphics for a minute. God of War 3 to this day is one of the best looking games of all time. God of War 3 on the PS4 looks better than newly released PlayStation 4 games. So, for me to say that God of War 4 is a better looking game is a lot to say. I think it's the best looking PlayStation 4 game. You can make the argument that God of War 3 looks better because of the realism, the details, the gore. But God of War 4 just takes it to the next level with the environments. I'm telling you, I have a vanilla PlayStation 4. I have a standard PS4. And I'm looking at these environments as I'm walking through them, and I'm like, holy fuckaroni, man. These environments, yo, for a moment, I thought that I was in there. I started feeling a little cold. I was like, yo, why is it so damn cold up in here? I'm thinking I'm in the game, but in reality, the window was just open. You know, that's all it was. I want to talk about some of the new additions to this game. Primarily, the way it's played. This God of War is an over-the-shoulder camera. I can say that it's similar to, say, Dark Souls or even Bloodborne, but a little bit closer. Anyone who played Horizon Zero Dawn, yeah, that's basically the camera. Because of that, combat is drastically different. The controls are different as well. So rather than attacking with the face buttons, the default controls have you attacking with the shoulder buttons. R1 is light attack, R2 is strong attack, heavy attack, L1, I believe is L1, is to parry, X is to dodge. Because the camera's so close to Kratos, when you're attacking one enemy, you don't see what's behind you exactly. Attacking one enemy puts you at a disadvantage because your back is open. And that's where Atreus comes in. Atreus warns his father, which is you, Kratos, when incoming attacks are about to happen. He'll say, "Behind you!" And you roll out the way or you parry. Now, simply pressing L1 with your back exposed won't guarantee the parry. You would have to physically turn around and then parry. That's kind of crazy. You know, I'm playing on not normal, but below the highest difficulty. So I'd say instead of playing very hard, which is the highest difficulty, it's called Give Me God of War. That's the highest difficulty. I'm playing on the one below it and above normal. And I'm getting, not gonna lie, I'm getting my ass kicked. I died on the first encounter about 10 times. It took me a long time to get used to the buttons. Now, I have these controllers for the PlayStation 4 that are totally disgusting, alright? These controllers, I'm pressing R1, it gets jammed. I'm pressing R2, it doesn't register button inputs. I have to physically mash the X button to register the input, bro. It's pretty bad. I'm not paying $60 for a new controller, so I'm okay with that. When I'm attacking an enemy, you have Atreus telling you to look behind you, old man. But most importantly, there's indicators that show you when an enemy is coming towards you, or an attack is about to occur, or a projectile is about to hit you. There's ways to actually manage this blind spot that Kratos has, right? But it still doesn't change that it took me a long time to get used to this new combat system. And although the combat system isn't as, say, flashy, right? I would say it's more brutal. I feel like it's more, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit more personal, man. So you have this axe that you could throw and freeze enemies and fetch it by pressing triangle, right? So when you freeze an enemy, you no longer have your axe. So now you have these bad boys to use. At first I thought it was rather weak, right? Maybe because I'm playing on hard. It's not dealing as much damage as I'd like it to, right? The damage output's not that great. I started to notice that, I don't know if it's only on hand-to-hand combat mode, but when you're attacking enemies with your fists from behind, instead of having the usual quick time event from past games, you have these finishers. And it's not as repetitive as the previous ones because good riddance. Alright, those quick time events, especially in Ascension, they tried to make them interactive. Oh my god, it was pretty bad. But, you know, after you take down the ogre by taking his eyeball out in God of War 1 for the 50th time, you kind of don't miss them in this game, okay? But there's something about this new Kratos that makes him a lot scarier because you can see that he is holding back. You can feel that maybe he took some therapy lessons or something, or went to like some psychiatrist to try to control his anger. He probably went to anger management with Jack Nicholson because, man, this man is ready to explode at any moment. I'm like, yo, Kratos, you need to take a chill pill, bro. The first boss battle, I'm not going to spoil it, but the first boss battle, this dude is punching Kratos in the face, right? And I'm just like, yo, bro, you really need to calm down, alright? If you could, hit that reset button because you're going to regret this. And he definitely regretted it. Yo, I couldn't believe that fight. That was like some Dragon Ball Z level shit, man. Like, I had the controller in my hand and I was just like, I can't believe what's happening right now. It was better than anything the previous God of Wars have ever done. No lie. And that's the thing about the game. I played most of the series. The only ones that I didn't beat was Ghost of Sparta and God of War 2. I beat the PSP1 Chains of Olympus. That one was really good. God of War 1, God of War 3, and God of War Ascension. Right? But I didn't love the series. And I wouldn't even go as far as saying that I'm not really a PlayStation first party fan. This God of War, I would go as far as saying, is a reason to go out and buy a PlayStation 4. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, the first couple of hours that I've played of God of War is enough to make me say, you got a PlayStation 4? nah, don't really have a reason to get one. You need to get this game. I feel like the game is just amazing. It's definitely contender for the best game I've played this year. Let's talk about Shenmue. So, within the past week or so, they announced that they're releasing Shenmue 1 and 2 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter about how gamers are frauds and how a lot of people aren't real fans of Shenmue and all this crazy stuff. Let me tell you this right now. I will never forget. I'm never gonna forget the first day that I played Shenmue. And not only that, but I'll never forget the days of reading the official Dreamcast magazine, the spread of Shenmue, talking about how it's basically like real life, dude. Like I'll never forget reading it and going, there's no way that you can do that. There's no way that you can walk from your house to the arcade and play some video games until nighttime. I couldn't believe it. There was no way that that was possible in a game. When my dad came home that day and he gave me Shenmue, yo, that was one of the reasons I dropped out of school, dude. I remember playing that shit for like 10 hours, dude. I was a loser during that time, okay? Yo, I played video games so much. It was crazy. Like, when I compare the amount of time that I dedicate to a game in a month, I think I would probably do that in a day. You know, like, I'm serious. You know, there's times where I'll pop in a game and I'll play maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And after that, I'll go, okay, I think I'm done. I'm married, by the way, so I have a son that's 3 years old. He doesn't let me play. You know, I don't want to hog the TV. I have a wife, too, you know. So that's part of the reason why I think that, right? When I'm alone, I play a little bit more. Maybe 2 hours, I would say. Maybe 3. But back in the day, yo, I remember waking up, putting on Shenmue, and just exploring the streets, dude. That shit was so much fun. I didn't even look forward to the combat. Yeah, sure, it was fun to fucking bash people's faces in with your fists, right? That's always fun, right? But you know what? It wasn't more fun than just roaming the streets at night and just talking to people and doing mini games. That shit was so much fun, man. You know, if you guys really want to talk about Shenmue with someone, you really need to check out this YouTube channel called Great Men Taking Over the World. One of my personal favorite YouTube channels, man. These dudes go, and I feel like I know these guys, man. I feel like I went to school with them, man. Like, man, I remember being in school talking about Tomb Raider 2, Nightmare Creatures, Tenchu. There's this game for the PlayStation, I think it was called Machine Head. Yo, there was so many games on PlayStation, like Fighting Force, Marvel vs. Capcom on the Dreamcast, Soul Reaver. Man, so many games. These guys, I feel like they grew up with me. These guys definitely had the same experience, and they show their love and dedication to games. You have to check out the Shenmue video, bro. Check it out. So, when Shenmue 1 and 2 come to the PlayStation 4, I'm buying it day uno. Day one, I cannot wait to play that one. Oh my god. And Shenmue 3, granted, I'm a little scared and skeptical. I feel like the game may not be that great. Sure as hell doesn't look great. Oh, God, I hope it's good. But you know, to me, as long as I could play Shenmue 1, that's all I need. Moving on to the next topic, let's talk about my 3-year-old son. About a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think it was like 2015, right, that Parappa the Rapper 2 was re-released on PlayStation 4. So, I remember I got Parappa the Rapper 2 because I played a lot of Parappa the Rapper 1 when my brother's friend Randy would bring it over. And I liked Parappa the Rapper, but I didn't really get the timing. I didn't understand. So, translation, I was a fucking moron. So, you know, I wanted to play Parappa the Rapper 2 because I remember reading on the PSM magazine that the music sucked compared to the first game. And I said, damn, really? It sucked? So I got part 2 and I beat it. It was pretty easy, actually. The music, initially I thought that it wasn't as great as the first one. But there were a few standout songs. Like there was a song called Let's Get Romantico. I don't know if you guys heard that song. Listen to this.
Because I'm smooth, with a groove so new, I wish everybody had the same point of view. Meet me at the corner, pick you up the 7. Wear your best dress and I'll take you to heaven. Yes. Hi. Hold hands. Face to face. Face to face. Get romantic. Let's get it on.
Let's get romantic. Yes, indeed. That's for sure. Yo, that song was crazy, bro. I remember when I heard that song, I was like, yo, I told my wife, do you hear this song? She was like, damn, that song is crazy. You need to download that joint. And then there was another song called Do You Want to Get Big?
Yeah. You want to be big. You want to grow big. Revolutions all the time, people changing the world with crime, with violence and anger, hunger, whatever. I find that ridiculous, if not meticulous. I do my best to guard my own premises. What's your name? What's your name, fool?
What's my name? What's my name, fool?
Yo, that song is good too, bro. The other songs aren't really too good. They're not good at all, actually. You know, so fast forward about a year or so, maybe 2, and Parappa the Rapper 1 Remastered was announced for PS4. I'll get Parappa the Rapper, and holy fuck, man. The timing was way worse than Parappa the Rapper 2. I think the timing window for inputs in Parappa the Rapper 2 was very lenient. It gave you a lot of indication when to hit the button. Yeah, this one was unchanged from Parappa the Rapper 1 on PS1. Like, this is a remaster, and I would say it's probably worse. Because, again, this is a remaster. So I'm like, damn, they really fucked it up. But whatever, you know. I had a hard time with Stage 4, that chicken bitch. I had a really hard time with her. But I eventually beat her and beat the game. I looked at the trophy list and said, damn, to get cool on every single level? I don't think I could do that. I tried and I just gave up. My son at the time was very scared of the icon for Parappa the Rapper PS4. Every time he saw Parappa's face, he would cry. Now, he was very small at the time, but I don't know what happened. You know, he started playing Sonic and Crash Bandicoot, and right next to them is Parappa the Rapper. And I guess he went into it one day and he got hooked. And to this day, he's still playing it. He tells me to play for him. He'll be like, no, daddy, your turn. And I'm playing. And I got cool on one of the levels. And I'm like, maybe it's not as hard as I thought it was. I got cool on actually the last stage. I got cool. And I said, okay, maybe that was just a fluke. Then I got cool on the first stage. I said, okay. Then I got cool on the third stage. I said, okay. Then I got cool on the second stage. I said, yo, I'm on a roll right now. I'm on fire. I got cool on all the levels. Got the platinum. I can't believe it. And I don't got a lot of platinums. I think I got like 2-3 platinums. That's serious. Parappa the Rapper, Super Time Force, and I think that's it. I got a couple of 100% though. The reason I'm telling you this is because my son is obsessed with Parappa. Even with the platinum, he wants me to keep playing it. Now, I'm going to keep playing if he wants me to play. But then, I heard this Japanese song playing in the background. This real funky song. I said, damn, what song is that? That can't be My Hero Academia. That can't be Season 3. They got a Parappa anime. And my son loves the intro. He loves the intro. Please listen to this. I'm gonna wait for someone to say that shit was trash. Because that shit was 100% lit, alright? You know it is. My son is just learning English. And this dude is trying to learn Japanese. You ready?
Yes. Let together, do the one I'm you, but together, the breathing. Let together, what together,
You know Japanese? Lastly, the final topic of the day that I want to talk about. I saw the first episode of the Persona 5 anime. Okay, I want to make something very clear. If you like the anime, bravo. Bravo to you. Shout outs to you for liking the anime. But right now, I think as of this recording, they're probably airing or aired episode 3. Okay? After I saw episode 1, I had to brush my teeth, wipe my ass, and rinse my mouth with Listerine. And I also had to put soap in my eyes because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. The anime took a stylish looking game and made it look like the blandest looking anime I've seen in years. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I was like, damn, they're not even going to incorporate the menus, like you see how they have Persona 5 does something extremely well. It's not a completely unique game, especially if you played Persona 3 or 4, right? But what Persona 5 does especially well, not in the gameplay department, but in terms of just displaying information, it does things that regular RPGs do and makes it stylized. Let's say conversations, for example. You'll have a conversation between the main character and his party of friends, and when they say something that catches their interest, you'll see a picture on screen of them looking interested. It's like there's all these little things sprinkled visually that makes boring looking things awesome. Text, going through the menus, going through the shops, the way the battles end. It's just so much that the game does different than everything else, but essentially the same, if that makes any sense. Anyone who's played the game probably knows what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it's hard to notice the contrast of Persona 5 the game and Persona 5 the anime without actually playing the game again. So if, let's say, you dove into the anime but have never played the game, then you probably think the anime is pretty good. But if you played the game and watch the anime, then you start to see things that waters down the experience. Say, for example, the first episode. Again, I've only watched one episode. I don't know if episode 2 and episode 3 remedies this. But when you're watching episode 1, things are just... they're just going through the beats. I'm like, okay, these story beats are kind of going by a little bit too fast. And maybe it's 12 episodes, maybe it's only 26 episodes, and maybe that's why it's happening, right? But say the intro. In the game, when you're jumping from the chandeliers to the chandeliers, what's the chandeliers? But you're in this this party, right? And of jumping from one platform to the other, you encounter a demon or a shadow, and you kick his butt. That does not happen in the anime, bro. I'm like, okay, maybe they just don't want to show the battle, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what, whatever. I'll let that one slide. But then when the main character, which in this anime, his official name I think is Ren. You know, in the game, when he's getting beat by these cops or these FBI agents, right, or CIA, whatever they are, right, Central Intelligence, they give you a notepad, right, and they're like, yo, write your name, sign this. That's an interesting way of having the player input the name for the main character. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, wow, they did a good job there. That's kind of cool. But in the anime, when he gives him the clipboard to write his name, I'm like, okay, what was the point of that? It was nowhere near as impactful as the game. Also in the anime, when you meet LeBlanc, I felt like you barely got to know him. You know, like, when he's introduced in the game, I kind of started to feel like, oh man, it's gonna drag staying with this guy. Like, ugh. You know when you're living with someone or you're working with someone that you don't particularly like or you're not comfortable with that person? That's what I felt like in the game. I felt like LeBlanc was just like, look, man, I'm only doing this as a favor, bro. I don't even want to take care of you. I felt that in the game. In the anime, he was just a side character. He was just an extra. Like, he was, like, even in the game, right, when you're first going to Shujin Academy, right, with LeBlanc, and you meet the principal and you meet the teacher, you know, you're like, okay, whatever. You're just meeting these people, you know, not really a big deal. But then when you're going back, right, you're going back and LeBlanc is driving and he's talking about how much of a pain it is to take him to school and that he's going to be taking the train from now on, that he's not going to go through this every day, all this crazy stuff. And even when he's taking him to school, you know, he's basically telling him, look, man, you better not be causing any trouble here. You're a delinquent. You're a criminal. All this stuff, right? In the anime, it didn't happen. And if it did happen, just like that, super fast. I felt like you don't really feel what's happening. You get me? Like, I feel like it just goes trying to get to the point. But by the end of episode 1, Ren unlocks his persona. In 22 minutes, 21 minutes, right? He gets his persona. And I'm just like, damn, Joker. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit took like 2 hours in the game. Holy crap. I don't know. Maybe it gets better. The animation isn't that good. I mean, scenes that took place in the game in anime form, in animation form, when they had like the anime sequences, they look better in the game. And I know it was a different studio that animated it, but I don't know. I just don't like the way the anime is going about this. I have a lot of questions. What's going to happen to some of the confidants that you build? Like the doctor chick, the nurse chick. I don't really know her name. I forgot. I maxed out her confidant though too. But I don't know. Again, if you enjoyed the anime, bravo. If you haven't watched it but completed the game or got far enough, I say check it out just to see what I'm talking about and let me know if you agree or disagree. Guys, sorry for the lengthy video. I'm sorry for the audio quality as well. Seems like the microphone was not picking up my audio, so I'm stuck with the webcam audio. Let me know what you think of the Zero Members Gamescast. Oh man, I couldn't think of a more original name. Sorry about that. But let me know what you think about that. I am going to be producing more of these. Because like I said, I really want to talk about games to people. I don't really have anyone to talk games about. You know, when I do, it's pretty rare. So, best way to do it is talking to everyone here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and please hit the bell because I don't know what's up with YouTube. Apparently, just because you subscribe to someone doesn't mean that you want to see their content, right? So, you got to hit that bell, all right? And follow me on Twitter. That way, you won't miss any of the videos I'm tweeting out as well. I like to share other people's videos. I have this playlist as well. I'm going to link it in the description. It's basically a playlist of the videos that I love to watch that are gaming related. Small YouTubers, big YouTubers, not too big, all right? I don't like to share huge YouTubers unless the shit is hilarious, okay? But check out that playlist, almost 200 videos in there, reviews, retrospectives, histories. Check it out, man. There's a lot of great YouTubers in there that you really need to check out. And I'll catch you later.